set of FinTech demo reveals where you're going to see those innovations and product news of what everyone's working on in this particular set to see how they're delivering human advice with their technology. So up next, we're going to be hearing from Nitrogen, Redtail, FMG, fpPathfinder, and Estate Guru. Remember, in this section too, keep involved with the live chat, the polls, everything in the sidebar so you can stay involved with the event and make your opinions known as well. And then, of course, we have our awards that you're going to be voting for at the end of each session. So stick around for that as well. I am thrilled to introduce Mitch Dunn from Nitrogen. He's the Managing Director of Advisor Services, and we always love having Nitrogen back as a return sponsor, and was also thrilled to be at their event just a few short weeks ago. How are you doing, Mitch?
Doing pretty good. Yeah, we were really excited to host you out in Nashville at our annual user conference last year.
What an amazing event, and happy to have you here at AdviceTech Live as well. Can't wait to see what you all have been working on. It's always so innovative, so I will pass it right over to you.
Awesome. I appreciate it. Yeah. Again, like she said, my name is Mitch Dunn. I'm one of the managing directors here at Nitrogen. I was, employee number 17 back in the day when we were called Riskalyze. So it's been really fun to be on this ride for the past 10 years. For today, we'll do a very quick high level demo of the core four, what is what we like to call it. But we're also going to touch on some of the pieces of the puzzle that we announced at our conference last week. So there was a slate of new product releases that we announced. I'm going to make sure that we cover those as well, just so people are aware of all the latest and greatest that Nitrogen has to offer here. So we're going to go through Michael Jordan as a sample client. Now, if Michael was actually my client, I wouldn't be here, right? I'd be on my own private island managing his money. But pretend he only has $900,000. We're going to walk through the four basic components of Nitrogen. And then, like I said, weave in some of the new functionality that we have launched. At its core, Nitrogen is built around the risk number, right? So think of that like a speed limit for investing, right? One would be, your cash under the mattress, risk 99, 100% Tesla stock, something along those lines, right? The S&P 500, for some context, is right around a risk 75, right? So every portfolio, every account, every client, every investment has a risk number. And that's a really great way to take the complexities of the investing conversation and make it really simple, clean, easy to understand for folks. So we'll walk through those pieces of the puzzle today. Right in the top left, we have a 57 here. That's how much risk a client wants in their portfolio, risk tolerance, right? In an ideal world, how much risk would they want in their portfolio? Down here in our planning module, we're actually assessing, I like to call that our capacity planning tool. How much risk does a client need in order to accomplish their long-term goals, right? I call that, your wants, hey, I want to eat pizza, hamburgers, and hot dogs the rest of my life. Needs, I actually probably need to start eating a salad occasionally there, right? From there, we're able to assess their current allocation. So we can ingest portfolio data from your custodian if you want to look at your current clients, or for prospects, we have really great ways to pull in those portfolios and analyze them. Finally, deliver proposals, right? How much risk should you actually have? So what you want, what you need, here's what you have. Ultimately, what should you have as part of your long-term plan, right? And this applies to both prospects and current clients. I was talking to an advisor the other day, and they were actually at our conference. They were mentioning like, oh, this seems like a really great tool to deliver proposals to prospects. And we asked him like, okay, well, what are you doing with your current clients when they received a $3 million inheritance and you're wanting to allocate that money? Oh, we deliver a proposal. Okay, well, what about for clients who just had a death in the family, right? And they are taking over some new money. What does that look like? Oh, we deliver a proposal. Oh, the client said they're really, really concerned about the election. What do we do about changing the allocation? We deliver a proposal, right? So proposals are the world that we live in, whether it's current clients or prospects, and we are the best platform at being able to deliver on those expectations for both the advisors and the clients. So we'll start off, let's go through really quickly that core four. So the risk number assessment, that's something that can be embedded on your website, that can be put into marketing campaigns. What we're going to be able to do is document best interest. And the nice thing is it's going to be white labeled for you as a firm. So you're going to be able to go in, and as you can see here, I have this lovely California coast as my logo, but you get the idea. It's going to have your firm logo branding all throughout the platform here. For sake of time, I'll skip the assessment piece here. But if you guys have questions or you want to go through this yourself, more than happy to send that out as a follow-up. Okay, so now let's say Michael went through that assessment. They came back as a 57. So if we were looking at that from a $900,000 portfolio, Michael said he's comfortable risking around $100,000 in his portfolio. What we want to do next is jump into the current portfolio and see how much risk he actually has. In this case, we're painting a clear picture. He's a 76, right? He's driving too fast. And you can see here it's actually comprised of 3 different accounts that he's invested in. So you see the accounts are scored, the household scored, and even the individual securities are scored as well. So if a client comes in, 85% of their portfolio is in NVIDIA stock, hey, we're going to be able to highlight that at the individual security level and show them what the issue is. But if we peel into the analytics, we see that Michael has over $150,000 in risk exposure, significantly more than he said he was comfortable with. Right, so we need to make some changes, right? Well, let's do a quick scan here and see what the problem might be. We can look at our asset allocation, average return, dividends, max drawdown. We can factor in portfolio costs now, including tax drag, right? So that's layer 1 of the analysis, right? We can also look at kind of a deeper layer, risk and reward. Where's the risk and reward in this portfolio at the security level? Or, like I showed you, mapped out the tax drag at the security level. Expenses and dividends can be shown. Right, just a million different ways to slice and dice this data, all dependent on the level of complexity that the client needs in order to make a decision. What we can also do is stress test the portfolio. Hey, if we have another 2008 or financial crisis, what could happen dollars and cents wise to this portfolio? We can also show stress testing to the upside, right? If we want to compare a portfolio, maybe that's a little more conservative than the client might be comfortable with, we can show them, hey, yeah, you have a little bit lower upside than the market, but we're protecting you on the downside here, right? What we can also do is jump into our portfolio stats. Now, this is one of the first things that we announced at our conference as a new feature. So some of you guys might start seeing this in your accounts very soon if you're already a user. But portfolio stats is a great way to analyze the portfolio really at like that really in-depth, robust level. Sharp ratios, alphas, betas, right? Diversification, all of that's going to be loaded into the portfolio so you can have a really robust conversation around that portfolio. The other piece we launched is a stock intersection report. So we can now finally look through all those funds, ETFs, and give you your individual equity exposure. So in this case, we actually have 4% of this client's portfolio invested in Microsoft, but he wouldn't know it because he just sees these Fidelity tickers here at the top. So it's a great way to kind of look through and show clients what their actual equity exposure is. So that was a new feature we rolled out a couple of weeks ago. The other piece we added is this multi-view. So like you go to Best Buy and you're evaluating different laptops or TVs, you can now do that same exact thing with different proposals and portfolios. We add just side-by-side view of all of these data points that you can look at and compare across really anything that you want to. So if you want to focus on that total return metric, you can see what those 3 portfolios did, right? Regional exposure, size and style, right? All those different components are going to be available in like a side-by-side view now as well. Going back to the portfolio analysis, like I mentioned earlier, if you have a current client, great, we can integrate with your custodians or asset management platforms. For prospects, one of the biggest challenges we heard is that data entry is really, really challenging and really, really frustrating if they're a prospect's walking in with like PDF paper statements. We tried to solve this by using what's called Asset Sync. This is a link that you can send to clients and they log into their financial institution. Great, it syncs their assets in. But for those folks who are uncomfortable or don't remember their passwords, they're just bringing in paper statements, we now have a solution for that. We launched an AI statement capture tool. It's in its closed beta right now, but it's going to be rolled out very shortly for all of our advisor plans. Gives the advisors the ability to load a PDF statement into our system, scan it, and then be able to jump in and run through all the analytics. I know I'm coming up close on time here. Really quickly, wanted to show the needs analysis as well. We can plug in high-level retirement scenarios and it calculates their long-term probability of success. Again, we launched an income by source tool as well, so we can show how this account is being drawn down in retirement. Do we have any guaranteed sources of income that will provide a baseline level of income in retirement? All of that's going to be available in our planning module too. And then finally, Report Builder. This has been really, really popular. We've taken every single element of our platform, made it into a report element, and now you can create truly custom reports branded for the firm. So we really wanted to give you flexibility on that in the report space, not just use our cookie cutter templates anymore, but build whatever you want with whatever mix and match of data that you need. So I know I'm close to time there, but that is a high level refresher of Nitrogen with some of the latest and greatest. If folks have any questions, happy to answer those as folks email in or trickle in. Happy to have conversations there.
Thank you so much, Mitch. I saw some new things there that I haven't seen in a while. I'm lucky through our integration with Nitrogen that I'm able to mess around in your platform from time to time. And I think even statement capture is so amazing and really looking forward to checking that out. We all know aggregation isn't always perfect. And,
right.
It leaves a little bit to be desired when it comes to just it being seamless. And that's just another great option to get that great detail. What a really, really innovative idea on your part.
Appreciate it. Yeah. Don't thank me. Thank the engineers. They're the ones that are building that out, and kudos to them. They're doing a really
absolutely. You all have an amazing team, and it's always great to have you here. Thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Next up, we have my friend. We have the Director of Brand Experience over at Redtail and Orion, Rick Williamson. I am so excited to see what Redtail and Orion are working on, and I know it's going to be a little bit of both, right, Ricky?
A little bit. We got some cool stuff going on. I'm really excited. Allison, thank you so much for having me. I love doing this. You know this. I love talking about, especially this theme, building human connections.
Yep.
That's what I love. That's what I love talking about. And the fact that I just happen to exist in this financial technology industry, I think it's just a happy accident. I'm
Same with me. And we can't wait to hear what you've got going on. You're up.
Very excited. Awesome. Well, thank you. And as many people know me, my name is Rick Williamson. Everybody knows me as Ricky Redtail, but I do occasionally moonlight as Richard Orion. And I have been the relationship guy for as long as I can remember. And relationships are all built on human connections. And so I wanted to zag a little bit because a lot of you have seen what we've been doing with Redtail when it comes to artificial intelligence, when it comes to building artificial intelligence into our speak texting platform. But I really wanted to show off what I think is one of the coolest innovations that we've put together here at Orion. And that is all about understanding why we are the way we are, how we are the way that we are. And people have been doing it for ages, whether it be Enneagrams, Myers-Briggs test, DISC assessment, heck, going back to horoscopes. People want to know why they are the way that they are. And it's becoming more and more popular. But it's not just about personality quizzes, right? Personality can change. Personality and who people are, a lot of that is dependent on the situation. And that's why we focus on behavior here, because behavior is about how somebody with a certain personality might react when it comes to external or internal stimuli. And so I love talking about behavior. I love talking about how we are really on the forefront of behavioral finance and understanding how behavior, how emotions, how psychology can impact people's financial decisions, but it can also impact the way that advisors are connecting with their clients, with their prospects. And so that's why I like focusing on our behavioral finance tool and what it can actually do. So I'm going to show off a little bit of that right now. The first thing I wanted to do is show off our BFI 20 questionnaire. Now, I've taken most of the 20 questions on this questionnaire already, but much like some of those other quizzes and tests and questionnaires that you've seen and that I just mentioned, you can take and you can give your clients a 20-question questionnaire full of questions similar to this, how their emotions relate to their relationship with money. So I'm going to throw in some answers here. I'm easily irritated. Ooh, that's a good one. Slightly disagree. It would pay me to spend some of my savings. Yes, it would. Everybody knows the government tax is too high anyways. My life would be better if I had more money. Sure, why not? And I tend to not talk a lot. Well, I'm going to strongly disagree with that one. And then it's going to take all of my answers and it's going to develop a B5 persona for me as a direct communicator. It breaks down and shows through Dr. Daniel Crosby's behavioral finance research exactly how my psychology, how my relationship with money kind of manifests in my emotions and how my behavior might manifest in the way that I approach my finances with an advisor. Now, this is all really cool, and you can actually go and do this right now if you are using our portfolio compare tool, if you are using our general portfolio accounting experience, Orion planning. All of this is able to be utilized right now. BFI is free for those people who are using our portfolio experience and our planning experience. But I wanted to show you what it looks like as an advisor and how that helps. Now, I'm here in my Orion dashboard here, and this is our portfolio compare tool. And anytime I want to make a switch, anytime I might want to, change my allocations, rebalance my portfolio, maybe raise cash, I could do that very quickly and very easily. And so I'm going to let all of this data load up here, and I'm going to just forget about the numbers right now, because what I really want to do is show you what happens after you go through all of these changes. If I pick a certain model and I go ahead and I apply that, it's going to do all the math for me. It's going to simulate the trades that I'll need to make. It's going to actually run that scenario through all of the various models, and it's going to give us options that we can then select from. And that's just one cool part of it. And because I'm in this demo database here, I know sometimes it takes me a little bit longer to pull up those particular models and what decisions I want to make. But once all of the testing is done, once all of those simulations are run, I can pick any one of the models that I want to here. So I'm going to pick this middle one here for no other reason that it's in the middle. And then I'm going to save and I'm going to compare everything out. And so now that we're here, this is my favorite part, is if I scroll down here, that's where you see our smart summary. And our smart summary can generate talking points, executive summaries. It can generate your text for email or even generate text for text messaging. This is all done through AI, all done through OpenAI integration. Really important point that I want to share here. This does not use PII. All of this does is analyze the model that we picked, the trades that we simulated, and how that is going to affect our overall allocation, our overall portfolio, and how that's going to meet with our clients' needs and our clients' expectations. But here's the best part. When I click on personalize, I have the ability to select not just additional Orion tools that really help answer the question of who my clients are, like my 3D risk profile for them, like my BFI 20 persona, but I can even change the tone if I want to. I can make it professional. I can make it encouraging. I can change the investment experience language that we're going to use from novice all the way professional. And what this does is it massages the talking points, utilizing that persona, utilizing that information so that you as an advisor can actually communicate more effectively, build that connection more effectively. Because somebody with the persona of a little bit more conservative, they are going to need to be talked to in a little bit of a different way. They might need to be, encouraged a little bit. They might need to be told, it's okay, this is going to all fit within our plan. Whereas somebody who's a maximizer or a direct communicator, They might need stronger language. But the fact that you can tailor these talking points almost as a universal translator for somebody's psychology and emotion so that it will resonate with them deeper, that's the best version I've seen of using tech to build connection. And I love showing it off. And so that's pretty much it. Again, if you have any questions, heck, if you want to take the B5 Persona quiz right here, go ahead and scan that QR code and do so. But Allison, it's tiny. It's a little thing, but I think it's one of the best uses of AI that I've seen in this industry so far. Very cool stuff.
Wow. As soon as I saw encouraging versus professional, I thought about a couple things even we do at AssetMap. It's like, does someone just want like the basic summary? Are you doing okay? Are you making the right decisions? Or does someone want the cash flow numbers, right? So
Exactly.
You have those different types of clients that, kind of relate to things, numbers or visuals like we do. And that is just incredible. I cannot wait to see Smart Summary more in action. And is that available now, or is that something that's coming?
It is available now. Yes, it's available now. It's something that can be utilized. I would recommend anybody who's already an Orion user, especially on the OPS side, reach out to their sales advocate, reach out to their contact at Orion if they're not using it yet, and check out and see if it's something you can get switched on. Because again, it's something that we are starting to build more and more momentum on. More and more people are going to use it. We were just talking to one of our developers about how we're working on improving that speed and making it faster and more accessible. So it's really cool stuff.
Great. Thank you so much for showing it off here at AdviceTech Live. Go out and check out Redtail and Orion's booth. And good to see you as always, Rick.
Thank you.
All right, everybody, welcome back. We are ready to go with up next tech sponsor FMG, featuring my good friend and wonderful speaker, Samantha Russell, Chief Evangelist at FMG. I am so excited to see what they're working on. They are pioneers with helping advisors get better connected with their clients and prospect and work with existing clients. So I just can't wait to hear what we have to see from FMG today. Hi, Samantha.
Hi, thank you so much for having me. One of my most favorite events to come to and present every year. So excited to be here and dive right in with you.
Sounds great.
So this is actually one of the things I thought we would do today. Is just recently, Susan Theater, our CMO, and I presented in honor of Taylor Swift's concert tour. We did the FMG New Era, See What the Buzz is All About. And I thought I would show a lot of the things that we showed in that day on that New Era event, because it really highlights all of what's new at FMG and the things that advisors are most excited and buzzing about. FMG is an award-winning marketing suite. Many of you are familiar with FMG, but you might not have taken a look at it in the last few years. I just joined the company in 2020 with the acquisition of 20/10. And in the last few years, you can see we have racked up quite a number of awards because we are constantly innovating, thinking about what do advisors need, and then how can we bring that to them. So if you log into our dashboard or you get a demo anytime soon, the first thing you're going to notice is that we have a new look for this new era. So everything is very visual forward. We want to make it almost like you're scrolling on social media to be able to find what it is that you need. And when you log in, one of the first things you'll notice on the dashboard is that we've really broken things down into the different areas advisors would want to explore. So whether it's working on their website, their blog, thinking about email marketing or social media or different events that they want to do, it's all going to be listed out separately, but you can also search by any particular content type to find what it is you're looking for. So this hopefully gives you a sense that really FMG is helping you with all the aspects of your marketing. However, in the last 2 years, we did do something different that a lot of people aren't aware of. We separated out the websites from the marketing. So if you have a website and you're happy with it somewhere else, you can come and work with us to have us do your email marketing, your social media marketing, your event marketing, and you don't need to switch your website over. And vice versa. If you want just a website and you don't want to do all of the other aspects with us, or if you want to pair them together, my favorite for the biggest bang for your buck, you can do that too. At the end of the day, we're talking about humanizing advice, right? How do we think about in the commoditization of investment management and financial planning, how do you stand out as the advisor? How do you get people to say, yes, I want to work with that firm? And what FMG does, it allows you to personalize all of your marketing at scale. So it still gets done, but we know that people connect with people. So this is going to allow you to show your personality, to build your brand, and find your fans. So FMG becomes the backbone of your marketing, but from the client's perspective, it all looks highly personalized because of the way we execute. So I'm going to highlight some of those newer things that we've been working on, and it will give you a really good sense of how it all comes together. So one of them is Instagram. We now have a ton of different Instagram content, but also allow advisors, so many people are really, really wanting to go all in on video. I'm really bullish on video, and this is a great way to do it. So we provide you with Instagram carousels, with backgrounds for reels. All of this is powered by Canva, and you are able, when you pair your Canva account with FMG and Instagram, to go in, make edits to the image, add your logo, whatever it is you need to do, but have it ready to go and deploy to make you look like a star on Instagram. And as I said, we're really bullish on video because we know that in the era of everything AI content, right? One of the number one ways to humanize your marketing and to connect with those prospects and your current clients is video. Allow someone to see your face, hear your voice, right? So how do we bring video to your marketing, but do it at scale? One of the new things that we have is video email. And I'm so excited about this feature because I know for many of you, if you record a video normally, you then have to go upload it to Vimeo or YouTube, host it there, then you get the link, then you want to add it to an email, but you have to embed it, then you need to create a thumbnail. We've made it a completely seamless one-click process. You go to our widget, you click add section for video, you click that, and then it's going to pull up your video. We will host it for you, so you don't need to first upload it to YouTube or Vimeo or any of those other hosting platforms. We also will create the thumbnail that people will see to click into the video in our technology. So you're able on this drag and drop bar down here on the bottom to pick the area of the video where you want it to pause and be the thumbnail when the email goes out. And now let's say I'm sending this to all the advisors I work with, and the email is what should be on the homepage of your website. This is what they're going to see. And obviously they know from this play button, it's a video. They can click it and watch it. Best of all, FMG not only hosts the video and gives the thumbnail, we create a whole separate landing page for this video. So when you're looking at your analytics, you can see how many people clicked, watched, finished the video, all that good stuff. So this is one of our newest features that advisors are loving, and it really, really is making a huge difference, again, in personalizing, humanizing that marketing. I mentioned Canva. We have a direct integration with Canva. One of the new things that, again, that we're doing now is allowing you to, from the FMG dashboard, you connect your Canva account once, and it becomes a single sign-on where anytime you're in FMG, let's say there's a social post, you want to just add a new image, you immediately can go to Canva with a click of a button, and it opens up in our platform and will allow you to make any edits to the image, pulls in the images we recommend. It's a credible integration, and advisors absolutely love it because we know marketing is so, so visual, and people see the image first before they read what it is that you are sharing. The other thing that we know is that you're really busy and you want to set up as much as you can ahead of time. So we now have these email automations and we were coming out with a whole new slew of them just this month. Everything from age-based automations. So you can put people who are all between the ages of 40 and 50 in one group, or maybe that are approaching retirement in the next 2 years in another group, about to claim Social Security, what have you. And then these email automations will go out and they can be triggered by the age of the client. So again, it makes it so simple for you to keep having those touch points and drip on prospects or clients in your marketing. But this one really is more of a set it and forget it. Once you know somebody is a certain age or in a certain occupation, you pop them into this automation, and then they're just going to get great educational content from your firm every single month. One of the things everyone's talking about, obviously right now, more than ever, is AI. We have an amazing new feature in our mobile app where you can go in, choose an article that you want to share, and say, write something for me to the app, and it will generate a caption that is what we call zero-click content. So if you notice when you're on social media anymore and as you're scrolling through, it is often, the information is given to you right up there, right up front. You don't need to click off to read a blog post or watch a video. We want the information right there in the social platform itself. So FMG has pioneered this really, really great tool where, again, it's going to create zero-click content using AI, but written in a way that we know will be engaging to the end consumer. So this is, again, a very, very popular thing. And I actually just put this QR code. If you're already an FMG customer, you actually get this for free. So it's included in all plans if you want to check it out. So I'm actually going to switch gears and just show off our latest innovation, which is our Do It For Me program. So for years and years at FMG, we would go and tell advisors, here's all the great technology, here's all the amazing content we have. And everyone would say, this is great, but can you just do it for me? So Susan Theater, our CMO, and I came out with this program. Every month, if you're in the program, there is a calendar that looks like this that is sent to you, and it's interactive. You can click on it and you can see it's color coded. So every month there's 2 emails at a minimum, multiple social media posts every week, 2 to 3 blog posts. And what happens is you can click on them. You can see more about what that particular post is. But as you scroll down, you'll actually see, okay, here's the absolute foundational blogs that we're going to add to your website every month. Here's the emails that are going to go out. And then you can say, okay, here's the optional content. So maybe you really work with a lot of retirees, so you're going to choose one. But somebody else works a lot of business owners, they're going to choose something else. But you're paired with a concierge who's going to execute all of this for you. So they're going to say, hey, the new calendar's out. Let's have a meeting. Based on what I know about your target client, this is what I recommend you do. We also give you a marketing tip every month and even video scripts and podcasts. And this is all that additional content that I showed you. We upload all your new prospects into a welcome sequence as well as new clients to help them get onboarded. So this Do It For Me program is our most popular program right now. And advisors are loving it because it's personalized. It's really humanizing you. We add personal photos of you to the social posts. We make it really, again, personal to you, yet it's very doable because you have someone from our team executing for you. So I really encourage you to check it out. Obviously, so much more going on at FMG, but thanks so much for listening to some of our top features that advisors are loving right now.
Sam, I only have a couple words to say. Do it for me. I mean, is there anything better for an advisor who wants to spend all of their valuable time meeting with their clients and prospects than getting out great content and having someone handle it for them? That is absolutely unbelievable. And that's available to everyone now?
Yes, it is.
Oh my gosh. Very, very cool. I love everything you guys show. It just is amazing. And thank you so much for being here. And we all need all the support we can get. And you guys taking it to that next level with some concierge is really just supporting what everybody's trying to do, which is, again, spend their valuable time doing what means the most, which is working with their clients. So great stuff. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So I'm very excited to announce our next Demo Tech sponsor. As a previous trainer myself for many years, I absolutely love what fpPathfinder is doing. And today we have Mike LaCour, co-founder of fpPathfinder, who's going to tell us all about his solution and how it's helping advisors work with their clients. Hi, Mike. How are you doing?
I'm doing great, Allison. I'm so glad to be here. It's an exciting time. This is an awesome conference because we all get to come together and see all the cool things happening. And we're able to do it in these quick, like 8-10 minute demos. And as an advisor, I think it's so cool. So for everybody, I'm Michael LaCour. I'm a financial advisor and the co-founder of fpPathfinder. And I want you to meet Paul. He's been an advisor for quite a while, like 10 years. Okay. He discovered he had a problem with his client meeting process. Namely, he didn't actually have one. Right? This is Paul before some client meetings. He's trying to make sure he's fully prepared for the meeting. There's just so much to keep track of. Annual limits are changing. I mean, they're changing right now. There's new laws to be thinking about. We're trying to keep track of changes in the client's life, trying to build the right agenda. It takes him hours to prepare for a meeting. But then there are times when Paul has no idea what to talk with the client about. He struggles because he knows the plan is on track. The investments are fine. So what does he talk about? How does he keep providing value to the client? Well, sometimes Paul reaches out to the client to see if there's something on their mind. But clients don't always know what they should bring up or what's important or relevant. Questions like can be just too open-ended at times. So for Paul, a lot of the actual meeting time is spent trying to uncover those planning issues. And that's inefficient because after the meeting, there's a lot of time spent doing the follow-up tasks and research, and sometimes additional meetings are needed. And so this all came to a head with one client. You see, a while back, he was preparing for a client meeting, but the plan was on track and the investments were fine. So he reached out to the client to see if there was anything that they wanted to discuss. They said no. They were actually really distracted with things going on in work. But he didn't want to talk about investment performance again. He did that last time. So he came up with an agenda focused on estate planning. But his work got tossed out the window when he found out they recently sold their rental property. So Paul was caught off guard. He wasn't prepared to have a conversation on that topic. And so Paul reflected on his frustration. And he came to 3 different realizations. First, it takes effort to create a thoughtful agenda, especially when the plan is on track. And it's a challenge to be prepared for a meeting because the rules keep changing. And he can't rely on the client to raise the issues. Clients may not know what issues to raise to their advisor, especially before the meeting. So this whole experience was a big wake-up call for Paul, and he made a change. And this is where fpPathfinder comes in. See, as an advisor, I struggled with client conversations just like Paul. It's why I started fpPathfinder. We create guides like checklists and flowcharts to help advisors look and be smarter in front of their clients. We have about 130 different guides to help advisors and their clients find planning opportunities. We add 1 to 2 new guides every month, and we keep them all up to date as the laws change. So here's an example of a checklist. It's focused on uncovering planning issues for the annual client review meeting. This is one of our more popular guides. It's 2 pages. It has about 25 questions on topics like cash flow, asset and debt, insurance, tax, and estate planning. And what you're seeing here, this is a PDF version of the checklist. We also have interactive versions, and I'll show those later. You'll see this checklist, this one here is branded to match Paul's firm. All right, each checklist tends to have 20 to 30 questions. And when a client answers yes to a question, it means there's a planning issue to consider. So Paul settled on this checklist for his client meeting process. But he also considered another popular guide we have. It's one that covers a list of all the possible financial planning goals a client could consider. And this one is inspired by some really amazing research that's come out of Morningstar. It can help clients think of additional planning goals that may not have been top of mind for them. So now Paul has an annual meeting process, and it looks something like this. This allows Paul to scale his meetings. He gets clients' input before the meeting. This gives him time to do the prep work and set the agenda. And the meeting itself is spent solving the issues rather than uncovering them. And it starts with Paul sending this email to the client. Instead of asking something like, is there anything on your mind you want to cover? Paul's asking the client to review the probing questions in the checklist to get the client thinking about planning issues. Because for the client, there may be a lot of important issues that just aren't top of mind. Like when that other client sold their rental property and didn't think it was an issue to raise with Paul early on. I should say, as a side note, we also have free templates just like this for most of our guides. And so when the client clicks the link here in the email, this is what they'll see. It's an interactive checklist. It's again branded to match Paul's firm. The colors can be changed. There's an introductory paragraph that Paul can customize for his clients. The clients can check the boxes to answer the questions. Answering yes means there's a planning issue for Paul to look into, and answering no means there's no planning issue. If the client needs help understanding the question, there's a section for more information. And Paul can hide these considerations from the client view if he wants. There's a lot of flexibility we have over here. And finally, there's a place for the client to add notes. In this case, the question prompted the client to remember that the client's benefits may change next year. And when the client's done and they hit submit, it all flows over into the CRM. So the information shows up for Paul as a note with the planning issues identified at the very top. And then those planning issues also show up as a task for Paul to address with his clients. And if the client didn't answer one of the questions or a bunch of the questions, that's all right. Those two also get flagged as tasks for Paul to follow up with, just to get more information. Maybe it's a planning issue, maybe it's not, but now they can have the conversation. Regardless, Paul has most of the information he needs to prepare for that meeting. And if you don't have one of the CRMs that we integrate with, it's all right. What ends up happening is that you'd receive an email with a summary of all the answers coming from the client. So in terms of like new things coming out, there's two things, but one in particular we're really excited about here. It's our guide recommendation tool. So we built this thing a couple of months ago, 6 months ago. And in this case, if Paul is meeting with a client, he can answer just a handful of questions and we'll recommend some guides based on Paul's answers. So now Paul doesn't even have to go looking around very far in our website. We tee up the most important guides and the most relevant guides for Paul. One of the other things that we've done here is we're making changes so that Paul can have more control over what he sends to his clients. Before sending a checklist to a client, Paul can edit it. He can hide questions if they don't apply or edit the question if he wants to tweak the language. He can add questions if there are certain things he wants to cover that are not included in the checklist. And then he can save it as a template for the future. So Paul's happy. Right? He has a process to uncover planning issues for his clients. He's more productive. His meetings are spent solving those problems instead of uncovering them. And he doesn't worry about what to talk about with his clients. We're spending hours upon hours brushing up on the rules. Right? But he's just begun. He's starting to use the partnership we have with Holistiplan. Essentially, Paul asks for a client's tax return, then uploads it to Holistiplan to get this tax report. Toward the bottom of the report is a list of observations generated by Holistiplan. Paul can click on the fpPathfinder logo to see which guides can help Paul to dig deeper with the client. In this case, Paul can click on one of the icons to the backdoor Roth observation, and that takes Paul to fpPathfinder, where he can pull up a quick guide to remind himself about the process for making a backdoor Roth contribution, and then he can share that with the client. So there's a lot here to cover, but if you want to learn more, come to fpPathfinder and see a bunch of our sample guides, and sign up for a demo to see how our tools work in more detail, including our partnership with AssetMap.
Yeah, I couldn't be more excited about this because I actually just took some notes on ideas that I have for us to all do together next year. We're really thrilled to co-partner with Mike and his team and fpPathfinder within AssetMap. And if there's something that we just love at AssetMap, it's being prepared and ready for an effective client meeting right off the bat. There is nothing better, in my opinion, than jumping off on a great starting point with a client or prospect. And you all are really supporting that. And I think that is such a beautiful thing when it comes to effective meetings and getting right to the point with a client, but in a really, really easy way. Really, really great stuff. And always seeing you doing some great innovations. So thank you so much for being here. And everyone check out the booth for fpPathfinder as well.
All right. Thank you very much.
What an incredible panel we just got to see. Thank you so much to our headline panelists. And we are about to get into our next demo group. And I am super excited to introduce my friend and VP of Business Development, Chris Hall from Estate Guru. Estate Guru has been here in previous years, and we're so excited to have them back and always excited to see what innovation they have going on. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to my friend, Chris. Chris, how are you doing?
Doing fabulous. Thank you so much, Allison. It is really exciting to be back here, taking part in AdviceTech Live. In the past, we really enjoyed being here. It's a great event and it's a great cause. I'm excited today to be introducing you all to what we call Guru Plus. It's one of the 3 unique ways advisors leverage the power of the Estate Guru platform. But before I jump into Estate Guru Plus, I thought it would make sense to share with you all that aren't familiar with Estate Guru what we're all about. We've been around for quite a while, over 30 years. We are solely focused on creating the best possible estate planning outcomes for your clients. We have the only attorney embedded estate planning platform out there, meaning there is a real attorney in the software helping to make the decisions, recommending what documents your clients need, etc. We are a premium document solution. It includes that attorney for every single client. It's an algorithm-based platform that's going to guide you, the advisor, and your client through the entire process. Think of us as really a document engine. Asset Map is a phenomenal tool for visualizing or getting visuals and shining light on gaps and opportunities and starting those great conversations. And when it comes to estate planning, when you see that great visual, that's super powerful, but you need one more thing to make sure that that visual you're looking at actually takes place. And that's the legal documents themselves. And that's what Estate Guru does best. We create the best legal documents to ensure the desired outcomes. A lot of advisors think of Estate Guru as the conduit that connects the advisor, the client, and a real attorney to prepare estate plans online in a really cool and simplified process. Usually like 98+% of the time, you're creating those documents in real time. And most of the time, you're going to be able to complete those documents in just 30 minutes to an hour. And so this is just a great tool to add like a turnkey estate planning solution to your practice. We all know client expectations are changing. They expect to have more services from you. And this is a great way to add this service to your practice. You're going to get a great view into all the client assets. We have lots of advisors come back to us and say, hey, by adding the Estate Guru platform to what I do, I've been able to add 7 million, 10 million new AUM just by going out to my existing book of business. I find new opportunities within them. I also get more referrals. A lot of our advisors are using this as a growth strategy, a way to reach out to new clients, prospect, convert those prospects, and really build multi-generational relationships. So really powerful way to add a turnkey estate planning solution to your business. Our attorney network is built in, so you don't have to pay an additional fee to add an attorney to the process. We have a network of attorneys through all 50 states. With a little caveat there, in Louisiana, we can only refer to attorneys there. The software can't create documents there. But every other state, all 49 other states, we can do that. So great coverage. We can even help your clients with more complex needs, whether it's a high net worth situation, or we need ILITs or wings or dings or grats or charitable trust. All those things are available to you as a subscriber to Estate Guru. So let's get into kind of the star of today, and that's Guru Plus. I think I mentioned at the beginning that this is one of 3 ways advisors leverage Estate Guru. The first way is a simple link out feature where you can just send a link to your client. They can walk themselves through that attorney questionnaire. But guess what? Most of your clients are long past school. They have no desire to do any homework. They don't like it. So if you send them the link, you're going to probably have to babysit them a little bit. That's just the real world data that we have. But it's a nice feature to have, and you can track them through. The second way advisors leverage it is themselves, or someone on their team will log into our software, sit down with the client, and be guided through the entire process. That's super effective and a great way to build a relationship with your client, or deepen that relationship with your client. The third way is Guru Plus. Guru Plus came to be because we've had so many advisors come to us saying, hey, we love what you guys do. We love the price point, but we're not comfortable with the subject matter, or we don't have time to do it ourselves. Can you do it? So we built Guru Plus. And one way to think of Guru Plus is sort of like the perfect attorney partner for you, because most advisors, not all, but most advisors struggle with either the cost of documents from the local attorney they work with. In addition, we hear time after time, I spoke to a guy out in Nevada the other day, he's having 4 to 6 months to get a set of documents done. The attorney confuses their client. We've even heard the attorney referring the client to a different advisor. So there's lots of challenges for advisors around this. So think of Guru Plus as sort of like the ideal referral partner. We're going to take great care of them. Imagine if your client could have a positive experience every time you sent someone to get an estate plan done. And again, you're kept in the loop the whole time. Imagine you don't have to wait 3 or 4 months to get into the attorney. You simply pull up a calendar and book an appointment for them. So this process is going to make it really easy. We're going to take the friction out. Let your clients get started as soon as possible. You can, like I said, you can literally be sitting with them. The moment they say, yeah, you're right, we should do that, book an appointment for them. We'll meet with them. They're going to get a great experience every time. We have phenomenal people that will meet with them online, walk them through the entire process. Ultimately, they're going to get a really high quality set of customized documents to provide for the best possible outcome. A little bit more about how it actually works. It's really quite simple. As a subscriber to Estate Guru, when you have a client that's ready to get their documents in place, rather than send him off to the lawyer, holding your breath, wondering if the lawyer's gonna, muck up your deal, not return phone calls or emails, charge a lot of money, and you're concerned about that client experience, don't do that. Send them to us. We will meet with them. We have phenomenal people that will be patient, walk them through the entire process, answer all their questions, provide support during and after the fact. So we'll take them through that. You'll be kept in the loop the entire way. In fact, you can attend that meeting if you'd like. And they're going to get all that at a fraction of the normal costs. So the way I like to think of the Guru Plus program, really, like I said earlier, is sort of the ideal solution when we speak to the advisors about what is it they'd like to see from their attorney partner. That's what we are. Imagine that. I think sometimes some of you might remember a diamond company that said, now you have a friend in the diamond business. That's pumped into my head from years of hearing it on the radio. But the reality is, I want you to think of now you have a friend in the estate planning business, someone you can count on, that when you send your client to us, we're going to do a great job. They're going to have a really great experience. You can be the person at the front end who introduces us. You can be the person at the back end who delivers a beautiful set of printed documents, a nice binder and everything. So you get to be the hero that provided this great experience for them. And we're just going to be an extension of your practice. We're going to take great care of them. So think of us sort of as that friend in the business, that ideal solution. That's what Guru Plus is all about, is making sure that your client has that great experience. So I see my time is running up, so I'm going to wrap it up. I want to close by thanking the team at Asset Map always for such great event, for having us here. We're super excited. Please check us out at our digital booth. Check us out on our online, and we hope to hear from lots of you. Happy to answer questions and have you take Guru Plus for a test drive. With that, Allison, back to you. Thanks so much for
Thank you. This is my first time hearing about Guru Plus, and it really stands out to me for one particular reason. This whole event is about helping advisors serve their clients in the best way possible. And not every advisor is an estate pro, right? Or maybe they don't feel comfortable talking about certain things. They don't want to lose that relationship. They don't want to be the one who passes them off to another advisor, but they want to make sure an expert is helping that client. I just think that is fantastic. And it really speaks to the theme of our event. And I think you're solving a huge need for a lot of advisors and their clients, because that's really what they want to hear about, is making sure that everything's going to be okay for their relatives and for their loved ones.
Awesome. Exactly. And that's what we're working hard to do.
Wow. Great job. Thank you so much, Chris. And appreciate you being here again, and look forward to the rest of the sessions today.
Awesome. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our tech sponsors for giving an amazing presentation in that group. Be sure to vote for your favorite companies using the awards option in the sidebar. And you're going to want to vote on these categories, so keep it in mind: community impact, industry disruptor, and rising tech star for those new companies as well. Voting is going to happen within each of the demo groups, and 3 awards are going to be given out at the end of the event. So be sure to stay tuned for that as we wrap up.